everybody, let's talk about the Lords of Salem. So this was recommended to me by Jose Sanchez on the channel, not once, but twice, and I finally got to it. I wanted to get to it before, but he reiterated that he wanted me to review it in the community poll that I did like a week ago. And one of the things too that you guys, well, the few people that actually responded to it said was that you guys wanted me to cover older films and like some retro horror and older horror, which I'm fine by doing. I was just trying to like do some different stuff because I know everybody talks about those films, and I was like, do people really want to hear what I think about Halloween or Friday the 13th? But I guess they do. It's just the community that we're in. So I'll do it, you know? So we're gonna start out with Jose's pick of the Lords of Salem. So let's get this right out of the way. I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie fan. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you know that. But I love House of a Thousand Corpses. That is a great film. I still think it's his best film overall. I did do the unboxing of the 20th anniversary of that and the Steelbook, so I'll link that up below if you want to check that out. If you love Rob Zombie, if you like House of a Thousand Corpses, and you want to see what's like packed into that box set, which is incredible. All right, let's get into the film. So this film is basically based on the Salem witch trials, both old and modern. We follow Heidi, who's played by Sheri Moon Zombie, which I think she gives her better performance in this. I didn't mind her in this film. I think she has a lot to pull. I don't think she's like amazing by any means, but I don't think she's god-awful like she is in some stuff later on in his career. So we follow Heidi, and basically her and the women of Salem modern day are descendants of the original Salem witches, and that comes into fruition as they are trying to bring back their Lord Satan in this film. So overall, the things that I like, let's get the things that I like out of the way, and then we'll get into my negatives towards the end of the video. So overall, I think aesthetically this is a cool movie. It's shot well for Rob Zombie. It doesn't have a lot of that bad cringy dialogue. It has a few moments, you know, he can't get away from it totally, but it's one of his better written movies because it's very simple. He's not trying to do a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of characters, and I think sometimes when he is just throwing around like 10, 12 characters, he doesn't know how to write them and they become very stereotypical. His only thing here is I think he's dealing with a lot of like big ideas with like the witches and stuff like that. I don't know that it always does that justice, and I think, you know, for like the middle of the movie, which I'll get into later, there are some issues. But overall, like I said, there's some creepy images kind of in the background, and like James Wan is really good about that. Like you're focused on the foreground and there's stuff happening in the background, but you know, it's not highlighted, it's just there. Now, obviously he does accentuate a little more than James Wan does, but I like that there is stuff, you know, there's a scene where she comes into the kitchen and there's like this big witch like standing on the sink, and then she walks by the bathroom and the witch is in there. So I like that stuff where we're not like drawing the camera into it, we're just like panning, and there's stuff that's in the background that's layered in that is just creepy. And I like that, you know, I like that more than it being just very in your face and jump scary like some modern movies have like relied on. So overall, like I said, I really like all of that. I like the subject matter that we're going for. Does he pull it off? Not fully, and I mean, I'll get into that in a minute, but like I said, I do like that, so I want to praise all that up front, Jose, so you don't get mad at me that I didn't like love this film, but I liked all that stuff, and I think it's definitely one of his better films, and a film that I enjoyed overall, even though, like I said, it does have some problems. So let's get into those problems. So overall, for me, the biggest problem is I think the movie's kind of boring. And I know it's in my thumbnail, but I think that it's not hyperbolic. The middle of the movie for me is like mind-numbingly boring. I like left, I made a sandwich, I literally came in here, was messing around on some stuff on my computer, and then I went back out, I was on my phone, and so I mean, it's just like, it's a film that did not keep my attention in the middle. So I think the first 20 minutes is really good, and I think like the last like half hour is really good, that picks up the pace, but the whole middle is just kind of meandering, and there isn't enough plot there to kind of stretch the runtime. If they cut maybe 10 minutes out of that middle part, it may be a like tighter film. Definitely not bad, but not amazing, and it's mainly just because like it took me out in the middle of the film. That's the part that was boring. overall, it's just that I was just like, man, I wish more was happening here. And there's like slight hints of stuff going on, but it's just so stretched thin, you know, like they're going in the hallway, something's happened in this room 5, and she's like getting flashes there. But then we'll have scenes where they're just like walking around and doing the radio show, and none of that did anything for me. Like, I know they like kill that guy at the end that she has on the show, but honestly, if they hadn't done any of that, it really wouldn't have mattered. It really didn't add that much to like the movie overall, just in my opinion personally. I do like all the witch stuff and the music and how the women are taken over by that and what they're trying to do and some of that stuff. There's some great creepy images throughout this film, and especially at the end. The only thing I will say about the end that I was not a huge fan of, there's a lot of flashing images there that kind of threw me out, and that's where it's like the music director side of like Rob Zombie comes in, where you're like, man, this like 10 minutes would be a great music video, but I don't know how well it works for a feature-length film. So overall, those are my only like negatives throughout the film, which I was actually surprised. I'll be honest with you. I did not go in this movie like wanting to hate it. I was positive that Jose was like not, you know, trying to steer me wrong in this endeavor in watching The Lords of Salem. However, you know, if you've watched this channel for a long time, I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie fan, so I was hesitant going in. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised. It's not the worst thing I've seen of his. It's no The Munsters. It's none of that stuff. It's not 31 or 3 from Hell. It's nothing like that. So overall, I think it's in the top for me, you know. I will say it's up there with House of a Thousand Corpses, Halloween 2, and then maybe this. They're films that I enjoy by Rob Zombie. But are they the greatest horror movies ever? No. Does he need somebody to write his screenplays? Yes, desperately, please do that. I think he's a good director. He just can't write. He just can't write characters. This has a smaller cast, and so I think it's a better focused movie because he's not writing for like 10 to 12 characters and trying to keep these big ideas balanced. It's basically focused on this one girl and this one simple thing, the Salem witches, and this bringing that into the modern day to summon Satan again and basically birth an Antichrist. It's not bad, it's not great, but again, I didn't mind watching it other than the middle of the movie where I wanted to fall asleep. But again, if you guys have any suggestions for films that you would like me to cover, big, small, indie, streaming, whatever you want me to do, just leave me a comment down below and I will definitely look into them. And if I feel like it's something that I want to cover, then I will definitely put it on the calendar for the next month. So Jose's been asking me for 2 months in a row, so he finally got it. You're welcome. I hope I didn't like make you mad here, but I know you really like this film. But again, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, it's not amazing. It's not, I'm not like, you know, hand over fist being like, this is the greatest movie ever made. And I don't know that you think that either. I think you were just recommended the movie. So overall, that's all I've got. Subscribe to the channel for more. We're going to be doing a lot more like older retrospective movies here and some weird stuff. I got a lot of stuff coming. I have had kind of a mental block the last month and I've just been like, I don't know what I want to do. And so I've had a lot of discussions, had a lot of time to think, and the channel's been up and down, up and down, up and down. I know this is how this game is played, but like I said, I've recently moved, job is different. So, I mean, well, I've been promoted. So there's a lot more that I'm having to spend, you know, at work. And so I've just been kind of had a crisis here going on, but it is resolved now. And doing this review, making these thumbnails, making these changes has really kind of reinvigorated me to do this again. So anyway, that's all I've got. Subscribe to the channel for more and like the video. Share it with anybody you know who hates Rob Zombie, likes Rob Zombie. I don't know what you want to do, but it definitely does help the videos on the channel. And we are growing. We're over 500. I mean, it's like I said, it's been an up and down ticker. That's just how YouTube works. But the goal, again, is the end of the year to be at 1,000. So we're on that pace. So that's all I've got. Thanks for stopping by. And again, recommend the videos you want down below and I will definitely check them out and possibly review them on the channel at a later date. And I'm gonna leave some videos at the end of this video so you can check those out, some 4K reviews, some movie reviews, whatever, just kind of 2 different directions if you wanna go. Again, that's all I've got and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.